You know, I'm no stranger to stories about the BBC wasting money, but this one even managed to surprise me. Hi, it's me again, and yeah, like I said, all of us here who watch this channel, we're no stranger to knowing that the BBC loves to waste a bit of money on something completely unnecessary. We could sit here for days listing off things the BBC have done that are a complete waste of money. But this one surprised even me. Look at the headline. BBC accused of blowing cash on London Underground World Cup ads. Ads. Yeah, they're advertising the World Cup. They're advertising the World Cup. The BBC have spent licence fee payers' money advertising that the World Cup can be watched on the BBC. Was anybody out there unaware that you could watch football during the World Cup on the BBC? Was anyone out there unaware of that? Was an ad required for that? Really? The BBC has been accused of blowing licence fee payers' money by advertising on the London Underground that it is showing the World Cup. The BBC has refused to disclose how much it spent on the ads. Funny that. They won't tell you nothing. They will not tell you anything. They'll find an excuse out of it. For all the FOI requests that are to do with money, they've always got a get-out clause. Absolutely pointless filing an FOI request with the BBC for something to do with money. Because they'll just say, well, by disclosing it, we can damage the third party's ability to make profit or something in the future. That's the excuse they tend to use. Unbelievable. The BBC refused to disclose how much spent on the ads, which include lines such as kids' narrative miss one, two. Let's have a look at the ad rather than read the thing. Look, this is the ad. So it's on a tube train, as you can see. Kids' narratives miss, work meetings attended, visits to Nan, blah, blah, blah. It's not the most riveting advert you've ever seen. It's the World Cup, though. BBC FIFA World Cup, live on iPlayer, sounds and sport. Was anybody who was interested in watching the World Cup unaware that you could watch it on the BBC? I mean, the build-up to the World Cup, all the newspapers were full of when the matches are being played and stuff like that, and the channels you can watch them on. But it was quite obvious to everybody involved who's interested in watching any of the World Cup matches, and especially the England matches, quite obvious that you'd be able to watch them on either the BBC or ITV. It's not a hardship. You put the BBC on and it's not there, you go to ITV, it will be there, and vice versa. Adverts are not required. I have no idea how much they spent. I couldn't even hazard a guess. But it would be thousands, if not tens of thousands, wouldn't it? Completely needlessly. Completely needlessly. That's the BBC all over, isn't it? That should be their bloody tagline on their mission statement, isn't it? The BBC. Completely needless. Lee Anderson, the MP for Ashfield, told The Telegraph, "My wife has zero interest in the World Cup, but ask what side the footy is on and she will say BBC or ITV. It would seem the BBC have licence fee payers' money to burn," pointing out the obvious. Yeah, couldn't agree more. They're complaining that they've got to make cuts all over the bloody place. They're always saying, we haven't got enough money. We've got £300 million black hole. We're making cuts. You got money for complete and utter bloody nonsense, though, haven't you? Andrew Lewer, the MP for Northampton South, said, "If the BBC insist on blowing licence fee payers' money on advertising things that people are already well aware of, they could perhaps respect those paying for it enough to be open about the cost." Oh, couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. It's supposed to be a public business. We're supposed to, well, not me and hopefully not you, because you're not paying into it. But they should be open and honest about where the money's going. That's why they have to publish the salaries and stuff like that. Why can't they say how much was spent on these adverts? Why can't they say it? It's because they're embarrassed to say it. That's why. And there'd be bloody public uproar at a time when everyone's trying to see what they can cut back on. And so many people have seen the 13 quid a month come out for their TV licence fee thinking, yeah, we could scrap that one off, couldn't we? And this, finding out how much they've wasted on nonsense ads could tip quite a few people over the edge. And that's why they're not going to say it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So what do you reckon about this then? Was you unaware that World Cup games could be watched on the BBC and you needed that ad to let you know? Let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, because that way, hopefully, I'll see you in another video again soon, won't I? Ta-da.